At the docklands in western Berlin, the harbor master keeps a sharp eye on everything. He's responsible for all that happens in the dock.
Frank, you have to get closer.
Harald Busch has been doing this for 33 years.
I began as a simple worker. It was a long process. I was at it back when the wall was coming down.
Busch worked at the docklands in East Berlin when it was still under communist rule. The site is on the Spree River, which once formed part of the border. Today it's one of Berlin's biggest investment projects, with the area being opened up as a center for media and the arts. This is the first time Harald Busch has been back here in years. Does it make you nostalgic?
Yes, it does make me feel a bit nostalgic. I worked hard here, but that's how it is. The place has changed beyond recognition now.
Before the wall came down, the docklands were one of East Germany's most important inland ports. And harbor workers like Harald Busch were under constant surveillance by the border police. Only 100 meters of water separated them from West Berlin.
I operated cranes like these for 25 years. I always looked over to the west in envy. I saw a crane operator over there doing the exact same thing I did. I thought I would never be able to get over there. Then the wall opened and I could. Now I'm at peace with myself.
20 years on, the German capital attracts tourists from all over the world, partly because of its eventful history. Hotels booked 18 million overnight stays last year. And that in turn draws investors like MTV, BASF, and Universal Music to the city on the Spree. From the water, Harald Busch can clearly see how much has already been refurbished.
That was once a paper warehouse for as long as I can remember. It supplied all the newspapers in East Germany with paper.
The former warehouse is now a fashion outlet. The communist planned economy has made way for a market economy. And entrepreneurs like Stefan Sieler, whose company has invested here. Now he's showing a group of designers and fashion experts round the new building.
We begin here at the entrance to the new building. This show's stairway must be the most extravagant thing we've splurged on.
Sieler has already established a second fashion center in the former docklands. Everything has to be ready by January, before the Trend Fashion Trade Fair, Bread and Butter. At the moment, international fashion companies are setting up their showrooms. Business is going surprisingly well. Sieler is pleased that most of the floor space has already been rented out.
Berlin is always being put down for being so poor and having less purchasing power than Düsseldorf, Hamburg, or Munich. But that's compensated by the constant stream of tourists, so that the difference from other big cities is diminishing. So much for the purchasing power argument.
But not everything is rosy in reunified Berlin. Unemployment is still very high.
I think this is an opportunity for Berlin, not just for the fashion industry, but for the entire creative industry. This is a big opportunity for Berlin and the solution for the city.
The capital is still in the middle of a structural transformation. But for many investors, that's precisely what makes Berlin attractive. And so the city is profiting from its unique history.